Hey everybody, Mark Crawford here and Sustainable Frugal Living. I'm here at our storage unit. You can see the boxes and the bins in the background here. And we've got a few items to ship today. You got up here where you can see them perhaps. But in being here at our storage unit, it really prompted me to shoot a video because of the times we're in. Everybody knows the situation with the coronavirus and the quarantine, businesses shutting down. This is getting serious. A lot of people hee-hawed at this sort of thing and that it would ever come, but we're at a situation here, what I believe is the global economic collapse, and the trigger's been pulled. This goes way, way deeper than the coronavirus. Extreme situation here, and we're not going to come out of it very easily. It's going to take years. You can't just shut down across the United States and tell everybody to go home and quarantine themselves, and businesses shut down, manufacturing shuts down, supply chains all but shut down except for essential items and so forth. You can't do that without severe economic impact. So what prompted me to shoot this video is generally when I come to pick, pack, and ship from our storage unit here, this school is usually bustling with children. Very enjoyable to hear the children laughing and playing. Today, no, none of that. It's completely quiet. Many schools around the country are just like this one. They're on an extended spring break because of the coronavirus. I'm not trying to fearmonger. I'm not trying to make light of the coronavirus. It is very real. But more importantly, what are the fallouts of this situation we're in? What I mean is the panic, the ransacking of supplies at grocery stores, the shutting down of casinos, bars, restaurants, places of business. This is serious stuff. You can't just do that and recover from it. In the past, we've had hurricanes, natural disasters, flooding, things like that. And those things we generally recover from in a few days. I remember when Katrina came through, our neighborhood was flooded, low-lying areas especially, flooded, and the power was out for several days. They were saying that it might be actually weeks. Of course, a lot of our neighbors were freaking out. It didn't really affect us whatsoever. And I'm not bragging. I'm not trying to ridicule anybody for not preparing. I'm just saying that nobody takes it seriously unless it hits you in the face. And I'm trying to shoot this video to encourage you to make preparations. If things don't happen the way I'm saying, you haven't lost a lot. That's what all preppers typically say. It's if you're storing food and catastrophes don't happen, then you've got food to eat. Big deal. You're going to eat food anyway. But what I'm saying is I'm shooting this video to help. A heartfelt desire to help folks and help people, because more and more people are contacting me now, just like in the days of the Hurricane Katrina. We had neighbors contacting us as, wow, y'all have water, you have power. How do you have all of this? Because when their power went out, they had no electricity for their wells, so they had no water. And in the low-lying areas, they were flooding. And so some people, especially out in the country, they're living on septic systems. When your septic system is flooded, you have no septic systems. So you have issues even with your waste. Going to the bathroom, your toilet's working. They won't flush, they won't drain. So this is a big issue, health-wise, and your lives will be turned upside down and very uncomfortable. And some people have seen this for a few days after hurricanes and things like that. But what I'm talking about here is what happens when the power's out for several days or several weeks even. What happens then? Well, what a lot of people don't realize is when there's serious issues like we're facing now with economic collapse and municipalities go broke, there's no power to operate the pumps. It doesn't matter if you live in a co-op or you live in the city. When there's disruptions to those water pumps, you have no water. And people, a lot of times they can't relate to that. They think, well, my power is out, big deal, I've got water, I can take a shower and have water to drink, I can survive. That's only for a few days, because what happens is eventually, if that power doesn't come back on, and there's of course there's backup generators on a lot of these pumps, obviously for emergency systems, but prepare for the worst. Prepare for the worst. Expect the best, as people say. You've got to have water. And if you've been following our channel, you've been kind of expecting this. A situation like this would happen sooner or later. I do believe it is very deep, a lot more to it than just the coronavirus. I think the coronavirus is simply a tool that the elites have used in order to create and pull the trigger on global economic collapse. And we're at the beginning of a reset that's not going to be reset in a matter of weeks or even months. A lot of people say it's going to be perhaps a decade. And in this country, we don't produce anything anymore. We're so dependent on other countries for our goods. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. A lot of folks have said it's going to force us back into the agrarian type lifestyle, and everybody's, well, I can't do that. I can't. And which is true. You can't just learn to grow food overnight. You can't learn. You can't prep overnight. You can't put all the infrastructures and all of that in place. It's impossible. For those of you that feel hopeless, especially now that maybe some of you, it's hitting you in the face and it's undeniable, and you're like, wow, I wish I'd have done something. Well, it's too late now. I can't do anything. Yes, you can. The number one thing you have to survive is water. You have to have water. So what I highly recommend is to purchase a fiberglass water tank. I would recommend at least 500 gallons. And we have two 1,500 gallon tanks, although we have a waterless composting toilet system. So we don't use water for our toilets. We don't use water for baths because we don't have a bathtub. We have a shower. Our water consumption is designed around just two 1,500 gallon tanks where we collect rainwater. You don't have to collect rainwater. You may have zero knowledge on how to collect rainwater. That's okay. The most important thing right now is if you have water in town or wherever in a co-op, you have a water hose outside, go ahead and clear a spot for a water tank. And you want to put down structural sand. You can go to the lots that have rocks and gravel and sand and road base and all this sort of thing, and ask for structural sand. And find somebody with a pickup truck, because if you have it hauled and delivered, it's going to cost you $150. If you have somebody in a pickup truck, they can go pick it up for $20, $25, depending on where you're at, for a pickup load. And give them some money for gas, buy them lunch, give them some gift cards, whatever. But get that sand, level out a area a couple inches deep so you don't have any protruding rocks or twigs or branches or anything like that, roots. Level it out and then purchase your tank. You can go pick up your tank again with a pickup truck. They're the big fiberglass tanks that like we have in our videos are very easy to handle. You can handle them with two people very easily. You can just roll them into place, plop them down, and then all it takes is some simple PVC piping. If you look at our videos, you'll see how we come off the tank at the bottom with the ball valve and then a T with the hose bib. That's really all you need right there. With a hose bib, you can connect your water hose and you can fill up 5-gallon buckets from the tank. Take your water hose from your house and fill it up. Do that as soon as possible. Water will keep for a long, long time. I'm talking weeks and weeks on end, if not actually months. We've had water in ours where we haven't gotten any rain for literally a month and a half. That water's fine as long as you keep it out of the sunlight. You want to get a tank that's solid green or solid black typically. Preferably put the tank in a shaded area under a tree or something like that to keep it cooler, and you'll have no problems with the water. If the water does start to smell a little bit, all you have to do is pour in some liquid bleach and you're good to go. If you want to go further than that, of course, you can go into a rainwater collection. You can see our videos there and get an idea of how to do that. You do not want to do a rainwater collection on an asphalt roof. You'll poison yourself. So there is a learning curve to all of this. You can't just jump in and do it. I'm here to help. I'm here to answer questions. So if you have any concerns, questions, please leave comments down below or private message me. In the information below, I've also left my email address. I'm just here to help. I'm not trying to put the fear into people that it's all over and there's nothing you can do. I'm doing just the opposite. I'm trying to let you know that we're in a situation here. It's serious. So whatever you can do it now. We've been storing food. We've been growing food. We've been collecting rainwater. Just trying to get away from the utility umbilical cord and services from others, and just trying to provide for ourselves. And these are the times when it pays off, when it's essential. I certainly hope all of y'all the best that are watching this, and again, please hit me up. I'm here to help you. God bless.